Hey everybody! Been wondering where our Halloween movie reviews are? Well, we're starting with that today. Uh, our very first movie that we're going to review is a children's movie, and it will be the only children's movie that we're going to review. It's called Double Double Toil and Trouble. It stars Ashley and Mary Kate Olsen that premiered on ABC TV in 1993.
We thought we'd do this one because we did the Christmas one last year. The Christmas tale.
It's called, I think, To Grandmother's House We Go.
Yeah.
Okay, it also stars Cloris Leachman, who plays a twin dual role as a bad great aunt Agatha and good great aunt Sophia. Eric McCormick and Kelly Fox are the twins' parents, and Wayne Robson is the gravedigger who is hired by great aunt Agatha to bury her sister Sophia. Meshack Taylor stars as Mr. N, a homeless man who helps the twins, and Oscar's played by Phil Fondacaro, a clown who meets the twins at a children's party. There he awards the twins one plastic toy wand for their pumpkin carvings that they have to share between them. Getting right into it, the twins have the power to do magic with the wand, like spin the clown around very fast. That magical ability is never explained or acknowledged by anyone, including the twins. It's either ignored or taken for granted. We don't know. Since this is a little kids movie, it probably doesn't matter. The rest of the story is about how the twins' parents are about to lose their home because of a downturn in their father's business. He decides to appeal to his Aunt Agatha for a loan, one of a set of twins who is the evil one. She dresses in black and acts and looks like a witch, but they don't seem to acknowledge that either. She wears a gemstone necklace around her neck called a moonstone, which plays a very important role in the movie.
Which, here's a question. Why is it called the Moonstone? What does it have to do with the moon?
I think because it's white. That's the only thing I can think of. But
Why
they never
didn't they
explain that. They don't. Agatha's sister is Sophia, who is trapped behind a mirror. She wears white and is comparable to the Good Witch. The parents don't know about Sophia's predicament because Agatha told them she left one day and was never going to come back. But the twins find out this information from the gravedigger later. No, wait a minute. I'll take that back. They find out about Aunt Agatha's moonstone and the bad witch who owned the house many years ago, and that the Agatha and Sophia had found this moonstone, and Agatha took it, and she used that to put her sister behind the mirror. So,
how did they say it, Sophie? The Moonstone.
So, the deal is, if the twins don't get that moonstone, which Aunt Agatha wears around her neck, and say some kind of spell or incantation, which they don't even know, before midnight on Halloween, and it's this Halloween, Sophia will be imprisoned behind the mirror forever. So, the rest of the movie, the two little girls, with the help of Mr. N, Oscar, and the gravedigger, they help them get that moonstone from around Agatha's neck and free Sophia. The part about the twins' parents losing their house will work itself out in the end once Sophia is released. We hope. So will the twins be successful at getting that moonstone that is securely wound around Agatha's neck?
Sophie.
I don't know. Cloris Leachman does an excellent job of playing the two different people.
Say it like they say it, Sophie.
I don't know what you're talking
say
about.
it like you don't remember.
Moonstone. I like to drag out moonstone.
Now you sound like you're stoned.
Ashley and Mary Kate, they have impeccable timing. Unlike that other movie that they started that we reviewed for Christmas, this isn't a comedy. I don't think there's any jokes. The other one, the Christmas one, had a lot of jokes.
There's a couple of jokes.
But not like the Christmas one. It was constant.
What about the where they talked to the grave digger? That was funny. Yeah, the Christmas one was constant, and that's why I like that one more, is because I feel like the script was smarter and better. Like I didn't really question very many things, if not anything, about the Christmas one in terms of its logic, but I questioned this one.
There were a lot of questions. For instance, the little girls, like I said, they were able to do magic with this wand. It's not that the wand was magical, because if any of the other kids had won the wand, they wouldn't have been able to do anything. It's just that these girls had some kind of power. It's never discussed, never acknowledged, and it's like taken for granted. I don't know. It was really weird. It's like nobody even notices it.
It's a plot device. It's so that they can advance the plot more. I don't appreciate that either, because I think that they're taking advantage of kids not being intelligent enough to figure that out.
Well, it's like I said.
And there's other problems too.
It's for young kids, and it's just a fun little movie. You know, they're not really.
It's a fun movie.
A lot of Halloween kids movies out there.
Kids can watch any type of Halloween movie, and you know, if you want your kid to watch a more baby version of a Halloween movie, this one's perfect. It's okay. It's fun to watch it and see what was going on back then in terms of kids movies, because this was a TV movie and it was made in Canada, I believe, because the Christmas one was, and you know, it's not special. You know, don't go into it thinking that you're gonna be watching Jeepers Creepers or Monster Mash. You know, it's not special.
It's just a nice little movie. It was made for TV. And
that's not an excuse.
I told my older son about it. He has a 2-year-old daughter, and he forgot about this movie. He remembered it when he was a kid, and he thought that would be a great movie for his little. So if you have little kids, they probably like it, and they wouldn't be questioning things like we are. I don't know if they would or not, but I don't think she would.
The problem is they're going to absorb what the movie's telling them subconsciously, and they're not even going to know it.
Well, Marco will tell you what his main complaint.
Section.
In the spoiler section,
Yeah.
Marco would tell you his main complaint about the movie.
And even if you haven't watched the movie yet, it's an issue that you can listen to what I say, even though it's a little spoilers. You can listen to it and get what I mean without being spoiled the whole movie. So.
But the movie isn't very deep.
Yeah.
And it's not very scary.
It's not scary at all.
And yeah. Marco said something about. Reminded me about what Aunt Agatha says she's going to do to the little girls when she...
Yeah, she gives detailed descriptions of what she wants to do to them.
But that's about the scariest thing about it. That's never going to happen. And she just says that. And She's a good actor. She does, like I said, she does a great job playing both parts. I mean, these little girls, they're real twins, but she's playing two parts, a good twin witch and a bad twin witch. So, but of course she has such a sterling reputation for acting. It's not surprising. So, um, do you want to go ahead and you want to say anything else about the movie?
Oh yeah, it was an okay villain. Uh, there's some unexplained things I just have to go about in spoilers. It's a fun movie. Excuse me. It's only for little it's only for little kids, and it's not for adults. Unlike the Christmas one where it works for everybody.
I think it's
And
because that of who's in it. You have
uh,
the two people, Jerry Van Dyke and oh, the woman with the dark hair. Can't think of her name.
the woman with
com-
the dark
they're
hair.
comedians, and they're really good comedians.
Oh yeah, the wife. Yeah.
And they're in the movie. They have big parts, and they're funny. And so, because they're experienced comedians, I think that's what adds to the movie too. Making it
Everything
funnier.
in that movie is great. The movie does not have any flaws.
Well, there's no
at all.
unexplained questions and major, like
Major.
like Agatha is clearly. I mean, she looks like a witch, like Halloween, a black with
and
black
the parents
clothes.
don't care.
The parents
I mean,
are like
she
robots.
she could be doing something illegal. Like she could, if this was real life, she could be like sacrificing animals and doing that sort of thing, which is illegal. And then they don't care.
They're like oblivious to everything around
In
them.
fact,
they're
they
like
make
robots.
jokes about it. They joke around about how she's an evil witch and how, she kills people and all that kind of stuff. They don't care.
But I don't think they mean it. I mean, I don't think they know that she really is a witch. I think
That's
they're saying
stupid.
it like she's a biatch, like witch. And because they just seem oblivious, and their daughters obviously have some kind of magic powers, and they're just like, they don't even notice. It's just really weird.
Just because you want the parents to not be as smart as the kids doesn't mean you have to make the parents complete idiots. Because that's what it was like in this movie. Because you want the kids to look really smart, even though they're not very smart. They basically
They're just young and naive.
well, they basically learn everything from all the other people that they meet. They don't. It's not that they're smart, and they use it to their advantage. And so, I rate it one piece of peanut butter taffy. Okay. Peanut butter taffies are those old candies, the weird ones that are really hard, and they're wrapped in generic color wrappers, and they taste good though. They have this nice peanut butter taste. And then a lollipop, and the lollipop is gonna be a little mini one that's flavored black raspberry for the witches, like the dark witch colors, and the peanut butter taffy one represents the kids, and then the last piece is a chocolate eyeball, and that's uh, to represent all the other characters who kind of support the main ones and are pretty cool themselves and interesting. And chocolate's better than any other candy, so they kind of outshine the main characters in some ways. So what do you rate it, Safi?
I give the movie a cone of cotton candy, pink cotton candy, to represent the girls and how they just seem very grown up, and they just they do their part. You know, they don't. I don't think they have very deep acting skills, but they have great timing, and they just seem very. They don't seem flustered. They seem very confident.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And also a blueberry snow cone. I don't know why. It's just for fun. It's not a like I said. It's not a very deep story, but it's for kids, and
Yeah.
it's not something that I mean. It's something that you know. It's okay to let your kids watch. You're not gonna if you are bothered by all kinds of weird things. You know, this isn't gonna bother you, letting them watch it. So that's it. So the spoiler alerts. Um, Everything that they want to happen will happen, and Marco can tell you the problem with one of the other problems with the movie. Mine was there's a lot of unanswered questions and weird things about the parents, and like I said, and the thing about their powers, and that the fact that Agatha and you know what? It's also when Agatha disappears, and you know Sophia turns up. The parents like I don't know. It's just like, do they even notice? You know, I guess they see that. I mean, you know, they're about to be evicted from their house, and the person who is going to get their house, you know, like the realtor or whatever, he actually comes in there.
Yeah, he
And
comes into their house while they're just having a nice evening, looking around.
doesn't he bring people with him?
No, it's just him.
No, it's just him. And so, I mean, that's so
Snooping
it's very
around.
real that they're gonna have to get out. And so anyway, after Agatha won't give him any money, but when Sophia turns up because they free her from the mirror, spoiler alert, which we've already warned you about, uh, here she is. She shows up and Agatha's gone, and I don't think they know about anything that happened. Like she was up in the mirror, and you know, and Agatha got put back into the mirror, and then the mirror broke, and they're sweeping up the pieces in the trash, and you can see her reflection on
They don't
the
know
pieces.
any of that.
Yeah, they just like, oh, hi Sophia, where'd you come from? Where'd Agatha go? And they don't. I don't know. That's just weird. So what were you gonna say, Marco, about what you tell them what you had a problem
There's
with?
a couple of different problems. Number one, okay, you know, a lot of the kids' movies have the same ending, and the ending is that they give you a message that money doesn't matter, and they tell you like they have a bunch of characters who need money, and then they have them come to the realization that money doesn't matter, and that's just complete BS.
Well, it's kind of bizarre because the parents are about to be kicked out of their house.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
they're
all
going
gonna
to
be
lose their
evicted.
house.
They could become homeless, and
And it's because they haven't made enough money
they
to
need
pay
more
the
money.
bills, to pay their mortgage.
And it's funny because they're talking all about borrowing money from their aunt. Like they just want to borrow their aunt's money.
And she's willing to give it to them, but the thing is, though, without her doing that, they would be homeless.
Yeah.
And and then the grave digger, he's only there because the aunt wanted him to dig a grave for Sophia.
And guess what happens? He doesn't get paid any of his money.
Yeah. So what's he gonna do? How's he gonna? I don't know.
And then you have let me explain this now. And then you have a homeless person, and
that's
he's living. Be quiet now. He's living under a bridge, and he has nothing basically. He probably wears the same clothes every day, and he's homeless. He probably doesn't eat anything either. And at the end, he's just like, oh, money doesn't matter. I don't care. It was stupid of me to think of getting money in exchange for, you know, whatever. just acting like money doesn't matter. It's just ugh. And then you have the other guy, the
The
clown,
clown, Oscar.
and
He has a little home in the woods, and he probably does all kinds of gigs for kids' parties. You know, he does magic. He
and
is a clown.
he can't make any money either because he is discriminated against uh, for being like a little leprechaun guy.
And he says that too, right?
Yeah.
And the message about the money
So
thing
all
is
of them at the
confusing
end,
and bizarre.
all of them at the end, money doesn't matter.
Which is bizarre.
It's so stupid, and I don't know why you would want to teach that to kids.
Well, they needed
So
to
that they
just
could-
change it to
So
where it
that
was
they
more
can,
realistic.
so that they can grow up thinking that money does not matter and they don't need money to survive, because that's what the characters come to realize at the end of this movie. Basically, they just want to take all the money from the aunt.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah,
that's the only
it's
thing.
just so bad.
But like I told
And,
Marco, a 2-year-old child isn't gonna be
Yeah, they will.
overthinking it like we are. But still, we wish that they would have changed the message and made it a little bit.
Makes
more
no sense
realistic.
whatsoever. Has nothing to do with the movie. The themes about money, the issue of money. I mean, these characters need money. I mean,
All of them.
They picked the top 5 characters who most need money in that area, and at the end, money doesn't matter. All that matters is family and stuff like that. It's sick.
It's just weird.
It's sickening.
If they would have just altered a bit, and it wouldn't have taken that much.
Oh, it would have taken quite a bit.
No, I don't. I mean, it just wouldn't have taken that much writing and creativity to alter that.
Well, you know how Hollywood is in terms of creativity and coming up with good ideas. So,
That's
at least right now.
Okay, well that's it.
No, it's not. Now I have another issue, the issue of the witches gathering, and stop fondling with the papers because listeners won't like that
Okay.
at all. So the witches gathering, a gathering of witches, and you're still doing it. A gathering of witches, monsters, vampires, werewolves. They're doing illegal stuff. They talk about doing illegal stuff. They talk about sacrificing, doing spells, keeping the noise down. So who knows what that means? Like the noises of screaming and chanting and all that kind of stuff. And yet at the end, the little girls are completely happy and carefree, even though that they know that there is a witches gathering still going on inside this warehouse, full of monsters who are probably hurting people and sacrificing animals, and none of that is brought up, which is very weird.
And they didn't even have to say all that. They could have just I've read. I used to read all kinds of children's books to my kids, and they had like witches gather. But it was just like they just had a party.
Well, you know what
in
they
the
could
woods,
have done?
and it was dark.
You know what they could have done? It's simple. They could have had at the end, during the credits, they could have had the police arresting all of the monsters, like at midnight in the
they
night.
Could have been raided, yeah, because they were
Well,
looking.
not like that. Just they were looking.
Well, they were
the
looking for the
police.
kids. Remember,
Oh,
because
yeah.
the parents went to the police because they noticed the little girls they traded costumes with a couple other kids, and so to fool the parents into thinking that it was them while they were out looking for Aunt Agatha's and to get her moonstone, and so when the parents discovered that those kids weren't theirs, they went to the cops. And so, that would have fit right in at the end, that they would have you would have seen them arresting all those people at that gathering, because they would be going there to look for the kids, not knowing that they'd been discovered, and then they'd come across all these people and making sacrifices.
And this is what they
etc.
could have done. No, you don't do that in a kids movie. Can't show that in a kids movie.
Well, I know, but
so you can have at the end in the credits, as I was trying to explain, you could have monsters being paraded out in handcuffs, and it would be really funny. You could have all these weird looking monsters and everything. It would be that all of them being put into police cars, and that would be simple. That's all you have to do. Just one little scene. How hard is that to do? Get a bunch of police cars, get a bunch of police officers, and have a bunch of people in costumes and march them into the cars. That's all you had to do. And another thing is they did not explain the magic. Right, Sophie?
Yeah, well, I already complained about that. If somebody gets a plastic toy wand, and they're making Oscar the Clown go into circles like a top, and everybody just kind of lets that slide by, like, oh wow, how'd you do that, and he's like, I don't know, and I just like, what? I don't know, because apparently, and then the parents apparently are not magical at all. It's like skipped a generation or something.
Well, that's very coincidental. There's a lot of coincidences in this movie. A lot of convenient things that happen so that the plot can go the way that they want it to go. And typical with kids' movies, especially Disney ones.
I don't know if it is a Disney one or not.
I said like Disney ones.
Oh, okay.
Because everything happens in the way of the protagonist would want it to happen. So, is there anything else we should say?
No, I think that's it.
Besides that we're going to be doing...
The next movie we're going to be reviewing and will be Phantasm. So, this is the only children's movie we're reviewing.
You hate it.
And I didn't like it at all.
Because it's too abstract and...
No, it's just
intelligent.
weird. No, it isn't.
Intelligent.
You gotta be kidding me.
Raw.
So, anyway.
It's raw.
It's not like this movie, that's for sure.
No. Well, it has... I didn't expect it to have a young protagonist.
Yeah, that's true. Now, that was surprising.
I thought that
was
it was
actually
going to be...
a good part about it.
It was a good surprise because you don't see a lot of horror movies with younger kids as the protagonists.
I mean, this is supposed to be, I think, like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, he's about 15 or 16. I read that he was 16 on Wikipedia page. They said so. Anyways.
Well, he could drive, so.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. See ya.
Come back for Phantasm. Like the video if you like it, if you even watch it, and then subscribe to our channel for more of these. And they get longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, and we review like 4 a week in October. We rank everything at the end of the year. What isn't there to like about that?
I don't know. Bye, everybody.
Bye.